Which show had a better first season? Solo Leveling or Kaiju number 8? Before we start, I'd like to say that I have not read the manga or manhwa of these shows. Second, what I'm about to say is purely based on my own opinion, so don't get mad at me if I say something you don't agree with. Alright, let's get into the video. Animation. Solo Leveling's animation and fight scenes were choreographed so well to the fight styles and colors. I think they did a good job of showing us just how powerful the characters were. Every single fight scene had me fixated on the detailed movements of the characters to the point where I wanted to join in. All this coupled with the overall tone and lighting just made me more interested in the show. Kaiju number 8 was not lacking either. The sheer fluidity, lightheartedness of the animation with the art style was quite engaging to say the least. The fight scenes were also pretty good, and it was clear they put a lot of time and effort into making it. So, in my opinion, Solo Leveling had better animation. I personally am a sucker for fight quality, and Solo Leveling did it better than Kaiju. I also prefer the art style, so it was a key factor in my decision. Moving on, we have story. Kaiju number 8 is about 32-year-old Kafka who made a promise to his friend when they were kids that they would stand at each other's sides as soldiers, but unfortunately Kafka wasn't able to make the cut no matter how much he tried. This all changed when he became a kaiju monster himself, and he was able to become a cadet using his own knowledge. Kafka is a pretty chill dude who just wants to be able to stand by his friend's side. His identity then gets compromised when he has to save his team from a disaster and him being imprisoned. He has to prove that he's not a monster, and that's what he does by beating the shit out of the commander and then restraining himself. The main theme I see in the story is hard work and friendship, and it's done well. In a magical world where hunters battle monsters, Sung Jin-woo finds himself at the bottom of the food chain. His mother is very sick and he struggles to get by due to his weakness. That is until he finds himself on the verge of death during a mission. He manages to survive and he wakes up with his very own power system like a video game. Think of it like when you gain ability points by completing missions and tasks which you can use to increase your speed, strength, and other attributes. Jin-woo begins training and getting stronger at a very fast pace, and things start getting better for him. He then discovers a potion that is capable of curing any ailment or disease, including his terminally ill mother, but he isn't strong enough to get it. So that becomes his motivation and pretty much covers the whole season. The highlight of the season, I'd say, is probably the fights and power system. Finishing the season left me with a lot of unanswered questions, but in a good way. Please remember that I have not read the manga or manhwa of these shows, so I don't know how much development the story gets. With that, I'd have to say I prefer the Kaiju story more because the character interactions, pacing, and the overall development left a good taste in my mouth. On the other hand, Solo Leveling really didn't have as much development as Kaiju in terms of interactions and plot advancement other than Jin-woo, though I'm sure there's more to come with the other seasons. Lastly, we have popularity or fan reception, which basically means the hype the show got before and after it was released. Without wasting time, I'll tell you that Solo Leveling wins this, I think, fairly easily. Everyone and their moms was watching this show, not to mention the edits and the people I saw watching and talking about it. Kaiju had a lot of hype, but not as much as Solo Leveling, and you can tie this to marketing, and kudos to the Solo Leveling team because they really knew what they were doing. If you watched up to this part, I'm thankful that you listened to me yap for so long. Please like the video and subscribe. At 10 likes I might do another part. See you next time.